Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking to Emma Saunders from the Psych Med Sanctuary, and she has a new podcast. And this is an update video, a progress video, because I had her on the channel 2.5 years ago, and I will tag it in one of the corners so that you can see it and go back and watch her whole story because we don't want to do that like twice. So we are going to talk about what has happened the last 2.5 years. The progress that you have made in your tapers because you were on more than one drug, and your creative pursuits and life and boys and Burning Man and all cool things, because once your trauma is over, like, life does resume. So Emma is like, I don't know how to explain you, but I think of you like you're my little sister in the UK who is like the creative part of me that like I don't have access to. Like, we're kind of twins in some weird way. I don't understand. But anyway, welcome, Emma.
Thanks for having me back. It's really
Of
good to be
course.
here. Yeah, and I completely agree with you. We have like lots of similarities.
It's so weird,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so can you abbreviate in an abbreviated fashion? Tell everybody kind of what happened in case they're not going to go like leave this video to go watch it. Just like in a couple minutes, like what happened to you?
What happened to me? In a summary, in the pandemic, I was given Lorazepam for tinnitus, 1 milligram a night. And the whole story, the doctor told me to take it and it was safe. I trusted him, took it for 6 months. And then he said, no taper. Obviously, came off it too quick and really blew my nerve system apart. And that led to, whoa, lots of polydrugging and 3 psychiatric units. I ended up on 3 medications in the end. This went on for a good kind of 8 months to a year, sort of estimation mark. And I reinstated the lorazepam like 8 months out from stopping it. And it strangely worked at zero point 0.5. I know that's not the case for everybody, but I was also taking gatiapine and mirtazapine at the same time from the psychiatric units. And then I sort of stabilized to this kind of baseline, which was no akathisia, none of the horrific stuff going on. I could sleep. And from that point onwards, I've been tapering. And I think when we had the last interview, I was still on all my medications, but I was tapering. And I think I might have been in Ibiza.
Yeah, you were, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, you are being humble though, because I
Yeah.
just listened to that interview before this, and I just want to tell you, she is a survivor of medical trauma, gaslighting, forced medication, restraints. Like, this was not a picnic. Okay. So I think my first question is like, how has some of that trauma mended since it's been 2.5 years now, or maybe
Yeah.
longer? How does that
Yeah.
trauma feel?
I think it's interesting because I was still tapering and still harmed and still so much medication to come off. So it's been really gradual. It was only last year that I felt ready to potentially go and scream in the woods at some sort of shamanic ceremony, not with ayahuasca or any drugs,
No.
drug
No.
free, but to do more kind of
Yes.
holistic stuff like that, where I could just like literally like scream and cry and like get it out of my body.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely
Yeah.
helped. But I couldn't have done that the years before. It would have been way too stimulating.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what do you think about this? I've noticed that your nervous system will not present you with something to work on until it's time. So, like, when you're in survival mode in the beginning, that's not the time to be working on heavy duty trauma. Like, you're trying to survive a trauma first. And then as you get a little bit more safety back, then these things will start popping up. Like, you know, I'm a little traumatized. I need to talk to somebody about that. Or I want to tell my whole story. Or, I need to cry. It just kind of comes in
Yeah.
waves when it's ready. Has that been like that for you too?
Definitely. Because sometimes I think, oh, I'm fine. But I think I just realized I was just surviving. So it's just that, like you
Yeah.
say, you're just surviving, aren't you? Like getting through the
Yeah.
moments. And then you look back and you're like, fuck,
Hmm. Yeah.
wow, how did I get through all of that?
It's crazy. And one more thing before we move on to the healing part, but like
Mhm.
when you look back on what happened to you and like how this kind of landed on you, what do you think about that now after all like the healing stuff has come?
Yeah. I think it's sad because it does feel like a part of my life that was sort of everything's kind of been held back a bit. And the whole thing of like everyone says to me who hasn't been through this, can you see the silver lining and all of this? And that is hard. It's definitely hard. But my silver lining would be gratitude for life. And I already loved life and now I love it even more. Like I just want to live it to the max and go to
Yes.
festivals and just be the fullest version of myself, basically.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I love
Yeah.
that. We'll talk about that in a little bit, I promise.
Yeah.
Okay, take us through your eight. You reinstate. The question that was not cleared up in the first video, I should probably ask now,
Mm.
is that you were on a benzo, and I think it was a low dose of Ativan, and then they kind of took you off, and they tried all these other meds, and you were in a state. So
Hmm.
you were in benzo withdrawal, but you didn't know that because they kept trying all these things. And then when you reinstated the benzo, you came out of the state. So you recognized, like, I was in withdrawal. This was correcting a withdrawal injury. How long were you on the Ativan before you had come off and then gone back on?
Yeah, I was on it for 6 months.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like 6 months on, 8 months off, and then back on. So then take us
Yeah.
through reinstatement and then your taper. How did that go with the Ativan?
Yeah. So reinstatement was really wild because at that point I thought obviously like my life's over and had tried everything. And I didn't really think it was going to work. But yeah, the zero 0.5 took it. And within a half an hour, I like was looking at my dog Wicket and I was like, weird. I can like feel feelings for my dog and I can feel love and like all my feelings of pleasure came back and like normal human feelings. So from that point onwards, yeah, I just somehow navigated how to taper. I had to find a private psychiatrist to give me the medication because no doctor would give me the Lorazepam. So
Yeah.
that came with like just continuous bills and more and more bills. I don't know how I managed this because I already had no money from like the whole year of withdrawal. And yeah, I then had to work out which to taper first. I decided the Quetiapine because it was such a huge dose, 400 milligrams. And that I came down on quite well, but it was still hard. It got to a point where I had to go to 10%, 5%, gauging, very much body led, but I still kind of came into the issue with the psychiatrist telling me, oh, just, do it in the like quick. And I was like, no, why? Why have you done this to me
Yeah.
again? So in the end, I had to sort of do this thing where I just had to sort of lie and say that I was doing something else when actually I was just had my own taper plan, which
Hmm.
is the only way I could do it. Yeah.
And
And
this was
just,
the private psychiatrist that's actually deprescribing friendly. Like, even he
yeah.
didn't get it all the way because I know who it
Yeah.
is, but I won't say that. But okay, got it. Um,
Yeah.
okay. So you did Seroquel first, and then Ativan, and then you're tapering Mirtazapine now, or is that the order that you went?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Seroquel, Lorazepam, and now Mirtazapine, and I'm on 3 milligrams.
Perfect. You're getting low. So
Yeah.
are you one of those people? I have two questions for you. One, do you feel like you've been healing on your way down off of everything?
Yes,
Yep.
I do. I feel like I've got better. There's definitely been waves and moments where I'm like, shit, I'm in a setback. This is really bad. But then the more medication has gone, the more I feel like myself again.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
then what was my other question? Oh my God. Oh, you said something very important, sorry, about body lead. And
Yeah.
I often try to teach my taper groups about this, and I learned it when I was tapering Cymbalta, but it was that I could feel like when I would make a cut, the anxiety would rise, and I would be like really obsessed with the beads and like I got to make sure this is perfect, And then I'd feel that kind of come down, and then I'd be
Mm.
like, okay, I think it's time to cut again. So like that was how I tapered the last 20 milligrams of Cymbalta. It's just like waiting for it to come and then coming back down within reason for myself. But I was not in groups at the time. I didn't know about all the taper methods. I was just doing bead counting and going with my body.
Mm.
So a lot of my taper support groups, we talk about you have to listen to your body, and they'll say, Angie, I can't feel it. I have akathisia, or I have like severe terror. I can't feel anything. And so I try to introduce the concept of like 5 plus 5 is 10, 5 plus 8 is 12, and like one feels true and one doesn't feel true. So like, do I taper today or do I hold today? And you just start kind of like tuning in and asking your body, like, I know it sounds woo woo, but it's like all we have to go on, really,
Yeah.
and you don't want somebody telling you when to taper. You're trying to like look at your symptoms, feel how you feel from day to day. So can you explain how you figured out how to do a body led taper?
Yeah, I definitely worked out when the medication would hit me. So each medication would have its own like timeline. For example, Seroquel was 2 weeks out from the cut. I'd always get my symptoms then. Mirtazapine was like 10 days, 4 days. And then I did Lorazepam with this tiny little like micro taper every day. And I would just pause if I felt any sort of symptom. So I sort of worked it out. If I was feeling symptoms, I'd look on my little thing and be like, oh, okay, that's that day.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. And then I would wait. I'd wait. I wouldn't taper if I was feeling any sort of symptom. But I know what you mean, because there are people who are so symptomatic and they just have to kind of get down even just a tiny bit. But it's just gauging when your nervous system, something's changed and you're like, oh, a few symptoms have gone, a
Yeah.
few things have calmed down. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So I know it's like a counterintuitive way, but everybody's so used to, tell me what to do. They want their doctor to lead the taper. They want the perfect taper plan to follow on certain days. And you're proof, and me too, about it's more about like listening to yourself and what you can handle when you can handle it,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
as you've been tapering, you also, I think, did you start training to be a counselor?
Hmm.
Or did you tell us about the training and your interest in that and coaching?
Yes, I've been training in transpersonal counseling, so that's the more like psychospiritual. Yeah, it's not too woo woo. It's still on the ground, still grounded, but I
We're
like it.
not all.
It's all
Yeah.
about the soul and the spirit, and I think I'm very soul led as a human being. Yeah, it's interesting having been started coaching people through this, how I share in my counseling groups and I'm very open and I tell them about all of this. And yeah, it's just the judgment, the
What
judgment.
kind of what kind of pushback have you gotten sharing about this?
They don't get it. They just don't understand that I could have suffered like that. And the fact that it is taking me this long to come off the medication. And the fact that I personally went into psychosis because I didn't sleep for so long, but they kind of think that I must just struggle with psychosis. And they don't understand that it was, in fact, the whole process.
And you
Anyway,
probably get it. You probably get it like I do, where, well, Angie, you look so normal. You couldn't possibly have been mentally ill. You're fine. And I'm like, you should have saw me 10 years ago. No, I wasn't fine. Like you're
yeah,
seeing the healed part, so they can't reconcile like that you had it really, really bad before, like, because you look fine now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually now I've started, I have to do a placement where you work for like so many hours. And yeah, they say, what will your clients think if they find the Psychmed Sanctuary? Like, what will they think of your story? Do you think it will put people off? And I'm like, well, what do you do?
It's tough. That's
Yeah.
tough. Okay, so what do you think you're going to do with your counseling degree after you're finished?
Ooh, after I finished, I don't see myself as a conventional therapist. I kind of just wanted to do it, and so I had like a piece of paper to say that I'd done it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've done some sort of training, and then I will just go on my own path with it, I think.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And now I know you coach some people that are tapering right now, and you post a lot on PsychMed Sanctuary, which is your Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, all three, right? So what have you learned about coaching people who are in withdrawal by watching many people? And
Ooh.
what kind of things have you posted, shared? What have you learned about this since you've been doing it like me?
Yeah. I have learned that a lot of people are told this really quick way of tapering, and it's really about like unpacking that with the person and being like, honestly, this is how I successfully got off this medication. And actually the reality of getting some scales or getting the syringes, and really, because the doctor will just obviously tell them that, you can just do it really quick. And I see that a lot. So it's like really having to be like, this is really important that you do this,
Yeah.
especially if
Slow
they've obviously
down.
come, yeah, slow down, because they're obviously coming to you because they're harmed and something bad's happened. And it's like, honestly, the body led slow taper is the way.
Yeah.
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 We
And I
just, I
think,
just did. Oh, go ahead. Keep going. Yeah.
and I
Sorry.
think I also see that people just really need encouragement, so much encouragement that they're going to be okay. That's a big one, isn't it? Like you're going
It's
to get through
huge.
this. Yeah.
It's everything. I actually heard recently somebody said a comment about me, and they were like, I can't believe people pay Angie for reassurance. And I was like, that is so mean, because
Oh,
that reassurance to someone who is on the edge is everything for them to keep going. You know what I mean? So if you don't need reassurance, you are in a good place. But this is so difficult for some people. It's like that's their water. They need to know, because when you're in the pits, like when you were in the psych hospital, you thought I remember I just listened to your video, you said, I literally thought I was going to die there. Like I was not coming out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
very severe for some people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so terrifying. And to have someone there to be like, I've been through this, you're going to get through it. These are the things that will help you along the way. It's like vital.
Yeah. And I think it's good that you documented your story to some extent because people can look back and see the changes even when you think you're fine. Like they always tell me like your interviews are better in the last year than they were 2 years ago, you know? Like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you continue to improve, you know, that's cool. Okay, so let's talk about you have a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
You have a new podcast, so tell me about your creative pursuits. Maybe people don't know this, but you're like an actress and a vocalist, and you play instruments, and you're just really cool. So tell people about your
Oh.
artistic and media pursuits.
Yeah, so creativity is my number one thing. I think that's what keeps me going as a human being. And especially when I reinstated, I was like, how am I going to get through the day? So I just put all of my attention on music, art, anything I could create, basically. I started writing songs, which I'd never done before, working on actually performing them. I think this has been a big part of my healing, actually, is just to really focus because there was a big amount of time where I couldn't work. You know, I had to go on benefits. And so what do? You've got all that time. So yeah, my creativity. And now obviously I'm much better. And I've started this podcast. I'm still doing my acting and my music. And I've got plans. I'd love to like tour with my music. And this one woman show that I've written that is actually kind of got all of this intertwined into the story. So, yeah, there's lots of things simmering, and the podcast is there in a very kind of 70s sort of aesthetic
Flavor. Yeah, it's so
flavor.
cute.
Yeah, I thought, okay, maybe people will tune into this, add a little bit of dark humor.
Yeah. Do you know who Daniel Mackler is? He writes songs about psychiatry like 10 years ago. Do you know him? I got to send you
No.
his channel. Okay, because you put out a song recently. I forgot it was about me. You have a way of taking the trauma and turning it to be funny and entertaining, but it's like painful to watch at the same time. You know what I mean? Like those of us that have
Yeah.
had that experience, but you do it so artfully that it's like it's funny and it's like entertaining and educational at the same time. So what was the song that you posted recently where you kind of were making fun of psychiatry and I think it was a man was standing in the bathroom and you were in the coat and the slippery socks. Like which one was that?
Um, was that the
Do you
recent
remember?
one
It
where
was
I'm
recent.
sort of singing and dancing and like
Yes.
the pills are
and
exploding,
and
the
you're like
recent one?
yes, and you're like laying on the bed like I forgot. But anyway, here's what okay, so Daniel Mackler, I'm going to send you some of his videos, but like 10 years ago, he has a YouTube channel to this day, but he was putting out songs just like you, kind of making fun of psychiatry, and he's done a couple films about healing from schizophrenia without meds, about coming off psych meds, about healing homes in Europe where people with serious mental illness would go live with families and they would like rehabilitate them with love. It was really beautiful. But Daniel and you both make these songs about psychiatry that are funny. So the other day, like you put that video out and I sent it to Daniel and then Daniel wrote back and he was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. So it's like you're kind of continuing the legacy. So I will be sure to send it to you. And I'm going to try to clip part of your video into this video so that people can kind of see it. But
Yeah.
definitely go watch her channel because it's entertaining. So what has that been like for you? Say a little bit more about like transposing that experience into something.
Mm. Yeah, because it's so heavy, isn't it? This, like, it's so heavy. And I don't know about you, but I just want people to get it, or in some way, I want people who haven't been through this to watch something and be like, what's this about? Or like at least have a curiosity. And sometimes I think dark humor can lead people into something that is actually quite serious as well, like a serious subject. So yeah, I find it very therapeutic, and it's really there to build awareness around this whole entire thing.
Yeah, I think because art has a way of telling a story that puts people's defenses down and it kind of opens their mind a little bit. Like I noticed that with the film Medicating Normal, they were more likely to believe the stories in the film and the doctors in the film than they would just you telling them.
Yes.
Especially if it's like coming from the person that's suffering to somebody that they love. It's like they can't hear it, but if they see a piece of art, it was like more absorbed you know?
Definitely. And music. We all love music, don't we? And if you can make a catchy tune about antidepressants and antipsychotics, then, you're onto a winner.
Oh my God. So I can't wait to see the rest of the podcast because I think more of that's coming. It's good. I like it.
Yes. And you're going to
I
be
like
on
it.
it.
I'm gonna be on it. We'll
Yeah.
see when. I forgot when, but it's coming up. Yeah.
It's coming. It's
Okay.
coming.
Okay. So let's go to life stuff. So I know I don't follow you every single day because I just hate social media. Honestly, I post my stuff, but I hate like sitting there and
Yeah.
scrolling. But I saw you moved a lot. You started dating, and so I want to talk about life stuff because it's just fun. But
Yeah.
number one, I've never talked to you about this, but Burning Man. I want to share that I went to Burning Man for the first time when I was 7 years off or 6 years off, 7. And hold on, I want to make sure. Yeah, it was 7 years off. Okay. And I wasn't sure if I would be able to handle it because of all the lasers and the light and the heat and the sun. And it's a very intense, like desert environment, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, like very, very intense. And then when I went, I was like, oh my God, like I've healed more than I thought I healed because look at all this that I can handle. I had like hardly any sleep. You're sleeping with like loud music, vibrating, everything. I was in a tent on the ground, and then it flooded. And I was like, who cares? Like everybody else was freaking out. And I'm like, I've been through worse, it's not a big deal. But what Burning Man did for me was that you have this altered universe. It's really hard to explain, but it's like this place that's kind of spiritual, kind of wacky, entertaining, artistic, but it like makes you have feelings that you've never had before and you can't get anywhere else. So what was Burning Man? You've only been once, right? And it was before your injury. But what was it like for you to see that?
Yeah, it was actually the year before all of this happened to me. It was like one of the best years of my life, and that was Burning Man was part of it. It was really such a spiritual experience, isn't it? When people who haven't been, a lot of people say like, oh, Burning Man, like, it has a kind of reputation, and it's like, go, it's amazing, it's magical.
Yeah.
And I think it's that community spirit, isn't it? And when I got there was so many like magical things started to happen, like weird conversations I'd have with somebody, and then something else would transpire, and then I'd get these like euphoric feelings all over my body just because I was there.
Yeah, it's strange. It's like a portal to like something higher. I can't explain it. But even last night, I'm at this place that has a pool and a gym and showers. And so I was in the pool last night, and some guy like walks up, he gets in the pool, and out of nowhere he goes, "Are you a burner?" And I was like, "Yes." And then he comes over and he starts talking to me for like an hour, and it turns out he was the marching band. They call it the Burning Band. He's the leader of the Burning Band, and he's talking to me for an hour, and he said he's been to Burning Man 23 times, and I was like, oh my God. And so I hung out with some random Burning Man stranger, but that's the kind of stuff that happens, like you just cross paths and you have instant friends, it's wild.
Instant. I love that about it. And it's like you're really connecting on that kind of human level, and there's no money.
Yeah. And there's no like superficial fake stuff. Like it's like we go straight to the soul. We don't beat around the bush, Isn't it wild?
And you can wear whatever you want. Like you can literally just fully express. I love that about it.
I love it. That's my favorite part, I think. Like people wear crazy stuff or nothing at all, and nobody even looks at you. I mean, there could be 20 naked people and nobody even looks at you. They don't care. It's wild. You see somebody on stilts, you'll see a man in a bikini, and then a naked woman, and then an 80-year-old with a tutu, like all right there, and you're just like, okay, whatever. Anyway, okay, so it's great. Are you gonna go back? What do you think? Do you think
really
you'll ever go back?
So like,
It's a lot of effort.
Because
So
of
much
the money
effort.
from the UK, and also I was like, I've got all these medications. Am I ready yet? Am I ready to travel that far with like getiapine?
It's a lot.
But now I'm just on one. I feel like, I want to go back when I'm ready.
Yeah, perfect. So, last life update, dating. I am so frustrated with dating. I cry when I look at dating apps. Like it's so demoralizing. Like none of these people, I mean, you can tell by their photos, you can tell by what they write, and I'm just like, I can't do this. So me and you have had very parallel experiences, but 5,000 miles away. And it usually goes something like this. We go on a date. We, you know, obviously we made that person go through a little bit of a selection process. We talked to them on the phone. We're not just like
Hmm.
randomly dating strangers, okay? They usually have at least a little interest, a little green flags, we think, and then we go and something like majorly disappointing happens.
Yes.
Or so what do you think about modern dating, but also like dating because of our injuries, because of what we've been through, because of
Yeah.
like the people that we've become just to get through such a hard experience?
I know it's weird because initially when I came to out of the reinstatement, I did actually kind of go on a few Bumble dates maybe a few months later, and I just decided not to tell him like for a while, like I kind of drip fed it in. Like, because it's such a huge thing, isn't it? And also, you don't, it's also not us. It's not like I don't want it to
Yeah.
be me. I don't want to bring
Yeah.
that. But I think if you're going through tapering, if you're still going through it, I still feel like you can still have love, but maybe not on the dating apps.
Not on the apps. I
Not
highly,
on the app.
strongly suggest you just delete them now. Save yourself 3 years of trouble that I've had. It's just
Yeah.
like, I just can't believe it. Like, I think, I don't understand what's wrong with dating. I think, this is so mean what I'm about to say, but last night when I was looking, I thought, and I canceled my subscription. Here's what happens. I will go on for a month. I buy the stupid subscription because there's a piece of me that still has hope. You know what I mean? I can't get rid of that hope. And then I
Absolutely.
go on, and within a week, I cancel it again, and then I just have to let the subscription run out, you know? And then I know when I cancel the subscription, the app is not going to promote me anymore because it knows that I just canceled. And they don't really want you to date, like for real. They don't really want you to find someone because then they'd be out of business, you know? So it's also another business. But anyway, last night, I was literally scrolling through, you know, my canceled subscription because you can like pause it and then turn it back on, but like you're not paying for it. And I was like, is this all the people that nobody wants? And then I was like, oh no, am I the person that nobody wants? And it's like, no, no, no. I know I'm like, I have something to offer. But anyway, my hope has been
Yeah.
dashed and it's just so demoralizing. I don't
I
know.
think it's surprising because both of us are so free-spirited. We're
Yeah.
interested in so many fun passions, and I don't know, we're quite colorful. So it's like,
Yeah.
where are these other colorful human beings that for you
I think
to,
they're at Burning Man. They're at Burning Man. But
yeah. Have you met
last year
anyone
it
at Burning
rained.
Man?
I did. I've had a few like little magical experiences, I'll say, and I won't get into it, but like I do think like last year I went into it like I want to meet somebody. And so I did kind of like put myself out there and I went and met 3 people that I had been talking to and then we were like let's meet up at Burning Man and all 3 of them I was like no way. Like one of them, I shouldn't even say this on I will say it on YouTube. Okay. One of them, I'm going to change some details. I don't think they'll ever watch this. No. Okay. Because I'm still friends with this person. But one of them, I went into his school bus and I was like, you know, thinking like this guy's really hot. Like, let me talk to him and see where he's at. And then I saw his bedroom was a mess and like his mattress was disgusting. And I was like, ew. And then he's like, hey, Angie, do you want a bump? And I was like, what? And then he like offered me cocaine. And I was like, I gotta go. No, this is not, no, 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 no. I'm like, I cannot even believe that just happened. And then the second one, no, the second one was a psychologist. And I was like, really had promise about this person. And he was like talking to me and we were showing interest, I thought. And then, I said, let's go hang out. And then like he disappeared. But you know, that kind of happens at Burning Man. Like you make a plan and then something else happens and it's
Yeah.
normal. Like you don't take it personal. So then I just let it go. And then a couple days later he came back around and then he's like, do you want to go hang out? I'm like, okay. So then we go to hang out and he brings another girl and he's like hugging on her in front of me. I'm like, this is the kind of shit that happens to me. Like, so last year was a
Oh,
bust.
yeah,
And then I
that's so,
decided, no. And I've done speed dating there. I did speed dating like 2 years ago. I went to like 4 different speed datings and there was just like nobody that I was interested in. Like, no. And I talked to lots of people and I just like, it's like you're looking for something that like feels good.
yeah.
I'm not like looking for like instant attraction or chemistry, but like I'm interested in you a little bit. I'm showing, you know, I still haven't found it. So I just kind of put it on the back
Yeah.
burner.
Some sort
Anyway,
of
how,
synergy where they're not
yeah.
taking cocaine and they're not like leading you on and actually something else is going on.
No,
No,
no. But we're
no.
just, I think because we're deep and we're soulful people, that demands a little extra because of what we've been through. We're both independent. We both travel, like I think we are good people, like really good
Yeah.
people. And,
Yeah, me
we
too.
deserve really good.
Yeah, like rich. And I
Yeah.
need someone who can like stimulate me in the mind, like
Yes.
be interesting.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of
Yeah,
boring guys. We sound so mean, but honestly, it's been,
so
it's
mean.
been really hard. It's been
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Ugh.
I did
Okay.
actually,
So yeah, go ahead.
well, I did actually meet a guy like over a year ago at an open mic where I sang,
Hmm.
and I sang "What If I Died in the Psych Ward." So I was just out there with, the whole thing. And
Just
then we
being
became
yourself.
friends, just being myself, just telling everyone that I got sectioned like 3 times and all that stuff. And, and then it was like a real slow burn. And now we're kind of like having a thing.
Good. I'm happy
But this
for
has been
you.
very slow, like
I think
really
those are the
slow.
best kind. You don't want instant fast. You want slow and building friendship and then,
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for anyway. I don't want nothing fast. Fast is always like, no, this is not for the right reason.
No. But then there was loads of people that I met on the apps. Like even during the time that we were friends, I was still like going on the apps and stuff. And I would just constantly be met with really hot, but absolute fuckboy.
Yeah. There's a lot of those. I think that's mostly what I find. Like
Yeah.
casual fun. And then when I read that, I go, "Oh, you just want to have fun with my feelings." Cuz I'm like I have to protect myself. Like I'm a very empathetic, like deep feeler. Like last night I just listened, you should probably listen to this. Do you know Back from the Borderline, the podcast with Molly? Her name is
No.
Molly. I will send it to you. It's so
Yeah.
good. But she was talking about there's this Cassandra effect, and it's like this mythical story about the girl who can feel something's wrong, or like you notice the way your friend is talking to you and she kind of like looks away and like the energy changes and you're like, "Hey, the energy just changed. Like what just happened there?" And she'll be
Mm.
like, "I didn't change the energy. What do you mean? Everything's fine." Because they're not even conscious that they like their energy changes. And so you can't like tell a person, "Hey, I can really kind of see what's going on here more than you can because I'm just so empathetic and like intuitive about things. So I have this like different kind of sensitivity where I can like feel things that like maybe other people aren't conscious of, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's a weapon and a curse and my biggest gift. So it's like when I meet a person and they're telling me one thing, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. you
Mm.
know so I have to
Yeah.
protect that part of me a little bit, just like you can't just let anybody have fun with your feelings.
Totally. I can really relate with you like that. It's almost like another sense, isn't it? Like this kind of
Yeah.
sensitivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happened. I was already sensitive before this, but after the injury and the healing and all the work that we do with people and how deep we go sometimes, like I think it just came out that way. Like now I'm sensitive to that
Yeah.
stuff.
Super
It's weird.
sensitive. Lots of
Yeah.
sensitive people get medicated.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Do you
Yeah.
think you were sensitive? What do you
Yeah.
think?
I was
Yeah.
always like, you're so sensitive, you're so dramatic, all that kind of stuff. But I was just very deeply feeling. Yeah.
Yep. Here
Yeah.
we are though. Healing is happening. Okay, so how much farther do you have on your taper? You're at 3 milligrams of mirtazapine.
Three
How's that
milligrams.
taper going? Okay.
Yeah, it's going
How's it
good.
going?
It's going good. I couldn't taper it at all when it was at 30, all the years back when I was on all the other meds. But with time, it's got easier. As soon as I removed the quetiapine, the mirtazapine taper just all of a sudden got easier. So that was
Wow.
interesting. Yeah. And
Interesting.
I couldn't even do 2% without like, having some sort of seizure moment. Whereas
Wow.
now I'm doing 10% and it's going well. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
still
Amazing.
sleeping because it's really sedative. That was my main fear actually, is that I'd lose my sleep, but so far it's okay.
Easy. Good job. I'm so proud of
Yeah.
you. You took control of your taper. You found a prescriber that would prescribe but not like get all up in every little detail.
Yeah.
And you tell him what he needs to know, and you just are listening to your body and trying to give pursuits outside the withdrawal community and but to try to stay in life as much as you can, and you're doing
Mhm.
pretty well. I'm really proud of you, Emma. I'm
Thanks,
really proud of you.
Angie. You too.
Thank you.
You were the first video I ever found whilst
I
I was in
know.
my
I know.
withdrawal.
I heard that in the other video and I was like, oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. Like, I wonder what you
Yeah.
put in the YouTube search that I popped up. It's so weird.
I
It's
think it was
so
probably
weird.
lorazepam. Like lorazepam is making me want to like, kill myself. And then your video
And
popped
then
up.
here I come. Hello,
Yeah.
Angie. Yeah, I can see that totally. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay, so if somebody wants to find you, wait, no, one question. How is the documentary going?
Yes. Okay. So the last time I saw it, it is kind of done. It's two friends of mine and they're taking their time, but I'm hoping that they will just send it off to some film festivals, but it's still happening. So I just keep messaging them being like, "Hello."
Can I
So
check
yeah.
in? Okay, but you'll be sure
Yeah.
to let us know and we'll share it everywhere when it comes out. I think
Definitely.
you interviewed Adele Framer, Mark Horowitz, Joanna Moncrief. There's really
Yes.
high quality people in it.
Some good
That's
stuff. It's
amazing.
really juicy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I can't
juicy.
wait to see it.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then your podcast, tell us about your podcast.
The podcast, The Psych Med Sanctuary, is currently up on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And I'm going to be putting out pretty much every week or every 2 weeks some sort of episode, trying to add a little bit of, I don't know, something different, a little bit of, yeah, just trying to cover all the aspects of this very layered, horrifying experience.
There is so many layers. It's not just
Yeah.
taking the drug away. That's only one layer, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like rebuilding your life, isn't it? Like it's so much of rebuilding.
Yeah, let's talk about that really quick before we get off too fast. But what has
Mhm.
that been like for you outside of just tapering the drug? Because you're a clear example of you did not have a mental health history. You went on for tinnitus after
Mhm.
COVID. And so a lot of people, I struggle because I don't want to tell someone there's a reason this happened to you. I never want to say that. Like, I see there was a reason for it happening to me, but that doesn't mean other people. And especially like if you didn't have like you get mental health symptoms from the withdrawal, but you never had them before. It's like that's a
Mhm.
clear drug effect. It wasn't who you were underneath, for instance. So like, how do you think about that?
Yeah, it is weird that in terms of like what I've
Well,
experienced.
like I think like how did you have to rebuild because there was nothing broken in
Mm.
to begin with? Do you think, or was there something
Yeah, I
going
see
on
what you're
that?
saying. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Because initially I went in for tinnitus and that was sort of the worry, the concern over the tinnitus. But then actually the tinnitus just went right into the background because nothing is as bad as akathisia, psychosis, like all the other stuff that
No,
went on. And so when I
right?
got better, it was very much just rebuilding from the actual trauma of the withdrawal and the fact that like no one believed me. I had no money. I was like, how am I going to get back to life? And I didn't know that I would ever get better as well. Because when you're on all those medications and you're so harmed, I was like, I don't know where this is going to go. So it's like a real
Yeah,
walk of faith. You're just like every day, like, okay, just keep going. And like trying to work
mm-hmm.
out which medication to taper first. That was enough to like drive me mad. Yeah.
So did you find that you didn't really have to force it, that things kind of presented themselves and there was a little bit of magic that was happening while you were trying to rebuild? So the way I think about it is people are like so concerned, like, how am I going to get a new job? And how am I going to make money? And they like ruminate about it. And I'm like, just wait. Like,
Yes.
honestly, things just kind of unfold and you're going to know when to take steps because they will present themselves. You don't have to force it.
And yeah,
Did you find that too?
yes, I really relate with that. It was weird. It was like as soon as I just let go and was like, I'm just going to work it out. Something is going to work out. This is going to be fine. Things started to unravel bit by bit. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, my friend just offered me a room. I can live there.
exactly.
Like all these things. I'm like, how am I going to move out of my mum's house who's like really abusive? And I'm on three
Yep.
medications. How I've got no money. And then all of a sudden I get this opportunity and then something else happens and then something else happens. And it's like,
Yep.
you just got to keep moving forward.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And then do you have anything to say about the rebuilding process? Like once you come out of the trauma and you start to get back into your life, how was that for you? Or do you have any tips for people
Yeah.
watching?
Back into life. I think just throw yourself into passions and fun and joy, like your life depends on it. Like,
That's
I
good.
couldn't have just gone and got a job, a 9 to 5 job, shredding paper or something, just because I could. I really had to be like, right, I've got to choose things that are going to make me really happy.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's good. Something that you're passionate about. I like that too. That's good.
Yeah.
But see, so you're kind of on the same page as me that this is not just tapering the drug, that part of your soul is kind of leading you, your spirit, your body is going to take care of itself. And you just kind of have to walk, and it's very scary and it's uncertain. And there's a lot of faith and trust in the process that's bigger than you. So would you give any, what kind of hope would you give the people that are watching?
Yeah, I would give the fact that you can feel so harmed and so damaged because the symptoms are so terrifying and completely out of this world, where and they can just all go. So it's actually they can feel so bad, but that doesn't mean that you're damaged forever. Like I was always there underneath, like me as Emma. As soon as my nervous system settled, I was like, "Oh, I've been here the whole time." Those symptoms are complete, they're not me. They're not actually
Right.
me that's creating that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that just, we got to hold the faith, trust the process. You know, it's almost like we just have to get out of the way because we resist things. We are afraid of everything, which is part of the injury. But
Hmm.
just stay alive, really. You know,
Stay
just
alive. Yeah. And that symptom, or maybe you feel like your head's going to explode, like that will go. It will go.
it's
Eventually it
not
will go.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not you. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you, Emma, so much for coming on and giving a progress report. Maybe we'll do another one when you're completely off and
Yes.
you're down to zero.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's cool. I hate that these things take so many years. So it's like you got to see the progress report. You're a
Yeah.
success story already after what you've been through, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Angie.